Good afternoon, class. I'm doing my presentation on black holes, even though I don't have an exact experiment because it's not very safe to experiment with black holes. I don't think anybody would come back alive and tell a story of what they experienced with our technology of today. So first of all, I want to give you a quote by Albert Einstein where he says black holes are where God divided by zero, which after I finish presentation, maybe I can clarify if you don't understand yet. And first, I have a picture here where it's a supermassive black hole. I will go into it later in the presentation. But as you can see, there's like a ray of light going up and there's a ray of light going down. The supermassive black hole is in the middle, and it's sucking up everything because not even light can escape out of our black hole. And as it goes down here, it's spin, and you can't see the black hole, and that's why you still see the ray of light as if it was just going through. So first of all, I want to start out with Albert Einstein, because there are many more other people that have theories on black holes, but he's the main guy. He gave us the theory of relativity, which you can close your eyes to imagine, but he said that you can be, basically he said you can, there's a point A, which can be one car going away from Dallas, and you'll be in point B, one car going into Dallas. Point A and can see car B, assuming y'all are both going the same speed, can see car B going at twice the speed it's actually going to, and B, same thing to A. So then, once as closer you get, it seems like the car is slowing down, and that's only because your speed is counteracting the car's B speed. And when you right center of it, when both of you can look on to opposite side and see the car, it seems as if the car A and car B have completely stopped. And that's because at that point in time, both of your speeds have canceled out, but eventually it seemed like it's right back after you passed. Also, Einstein proved this theory of relativity in 1919 when a solar eclipse occurred, and it traveled from northeast Africa all the way to southwest Europe. And what he did was he took pictures during the solar eclipse where he'd see the sky as soon as the solar eclipse passed over it. And he took pictures that had happened that were in the archives before the solar eclipse, and then he took pictures that he took during the solar eclipse and put them together, and saw how the theory of relativity showed that depending on where you are, it seemed like almost as the stuff never happened, as it was never there, or it didn't exist at all. So theory of relativity, again, how it applies to space. I explained to you what it basically was, but now it applies to our black holes is our black holes basically just suck up everything around it. They're so powerful, as I said earlier, not even light can escape. And what it'll do is not only give us our space, which is basically a quilt, a cone shape, but it will also twist our dimensions, which will give it the sphere, sort of like a drill shape. Okay, so there's a theory that says black holes are a portal to an alternative reality. But I myself think that could happen, but that's one of the things in life nobody will ever tell a story of, because the technology we have can merely ever cease to exist to go through this black hole. Because I'll explain to you, as up here, as you go, the black hole will stretch you so far apart that you would literally get ripped in pieces. And if you do survive that, as you go through the middle, it will squish you so much that you become such a tiny particle. And if you do survive that again, at the end it'll split you and it's practically over. And that would be very, very painful. I would prefer to die here than go through the whole process and die. The effect on the universes. Okay, so here this picture. This is a blue giant, and this is a black hole. See, this black hole is so small, but yet it's taking up all the power of this sun, and it'll just suck it up. You see, it seems so small space between it, but in terms of space, that's huge. You take light years to get there. But yet our dark hole is so powerful, it'll take it like so rapidly. And again, you can see it sucks all the way from up here, and it doesn't appear to take it. It just appears to go through because our black hole is invisible, basically. Now as I said, there's a supermassive black hole, and the goods of this supermassive black holes is that it's in the middle of all great galaxies, sort of like our Milky Way galaxy. As you can see here, all that light is basically where the black hole is at. And it'll take us all, and it has us in perfect shape. But this is sort of bad because eventually it'll eat us all. But in another way, this proves the theory of the alternate reality, because the alternate reality also says that not only can you go through this portal through a different dimension where you do the exact same opposite, but also there's a possibility that this is a portal that only destroyed matter can go through. And what it'll do is it'll suck it from one side and it'll shoot it at the other. And maybe this could prove that, because it does seem like it's taking, but it doesn't, because all the light's shooting out. So it could be possible mass. The proof that black holes are true are that 16 astronauts tracked 21 stars of our Milky Way galaxy over a period of time from 2003 to 2007. And it seemed like at least 8 of them were disappeared. So this proves that this black hole could have sucked in all the stars. And it basically proves the idea that even though you can't see them, they are there. Also, there could be a certain limitation to this. Maybe the astronauts just lost track of the star. But in order to prove our theory, we go with that the stars were sucked in by the black hole. In conclusion, I believe, as I said earlier, that black holes are a portal to alternate reality. Even though no person at our point in time with our technology will be able to say, well, yes, I went through this black hole and I saw my other me, and we were completely different. But you may not be able to see it, but theoretically speaking, you will be able to experience it just subconsciously, because you will be a piece of matter and not yourself. Now we'll open the floor for any questions or comments.
Regarding the disappearing stars, is it possible that the stars were not sucked into the black hole, but that merely their light was not able to transfer through them, and that the black hole just redirected or removed their visibility from our perspective?
Like I said, I did state that maybe we just lost track of them, and that could be a possible way of how we lost track of the stars. Alex?
I don't know if you explained this, but I was wondering, like, whenever someone goes into a black hole, does it just, like, what happens to it?
In the picture, at the beginning, it'll get split, like it'll get expanded, and then it'll be shot back together and expanded again. But the theory of the alternate reality does explain that its pieces are destroyed, our matter is destroyed, but it's just shot into the parallel universe and used to create more matter. Archie?
Do you know if it has anything to do with dark matter?
I did see dark matter, but I couldn't comprehend, so I didn't bring it into the PowerPoint. Mr. Nett?
Sorry, I was wondering, I took you literally when you said you saw dark matter. But in the progression of a star, as it goes through its full lifespan, and then there's a progressive stages of stars. Isn't the final stage a black hole?
Final stage after the supernova. Technically, the supernova is the final stage, but then the core creates the black hole.
Right. So it's not like you lost stars, as you alluded to before. It's possible that those stars had reached their effective life and then became black holes.
By loss of stars, what I meant to say is maybe the stars were sucked into our black hole and not
research, did you come across the theory that, related to what Dr. Nib was saying, that this is how new stars are born, through sucking in matter and back and forth and back and forth, and that friction creates, both that compression and friction creates new stars?
No, it's, I think closest thing I got to that was a theory of alternate reality where you use same matter to create something else in a different dimension.
Regarding that, do you have any scientific, is there any scientific, I know there's not proof because no one's done it, but are there mathematical theorems that have been proven or prospected by someone like Einstein that suggest that?
Yes, there were actually one article I found is pure equations, but for the sake of me being able to explain, I just try to avoid it and see what I could come out with without going through the equations.
Fair
Ms. Alonso?
Thank you, Mr. Diaz. Do you know who established this theory of alternate reality and how they came to that conclusion?
It was Garbardo. I can't explain. I do know it wasn't Einstein for sure, but I can't pronounce his name. But I know it starts with a G.
Okay, and what kind of, I guess, what led him to this theory? What be it research, observation, or understanding of principles, you know?
I think I didn't necessarily say anything about specific reasons, but I think it could be just one of those encounters where one has a weird idea, it just becomes curious.
All right, so I guess my real question is the theory of alternative reality a scientifically based theory, or is it a weird idea that I feel like you would class with conspiracy theorists or something like that?
I would say it was just a weird idea, but I can't put my word on it because I don't know exactly. Mr. Nick?
Another question. Were you saying that stars could be created out of black holes?
I was saying the mass of the theory says explain where the mass that went in through one side of the black hole could come into the other and create more matter, which would possibly be stars or other planets.
Then how does that explanation basically? Let me start that over again. Your explanation doesn't make sense only because of the fact that how do you explain the Eagle Nebula and how they determine that that's like the birthplace of stars in one part of the galaxy?
I explained that. Are you saying how it's so far apart, or?
Yeah, that this is a whole other entity.
I explained that because Big Bang Theory. There's a part where the scientists go in and say that the first 10 seconds of the Big Bang Theory, that the universe didn't expand at normal speeds as we thought at first, and that they expanded like 10 times faster per millisecond. So that's why it's also wide, and it's found on the other side of the universe. That's the only way I can possibly see explaining it to you.
Okay, but it doesn't answer the question. That how could they say that there's? We can talk about this later, but it's been described that this one entity called an Eagle Nebula is the birthplace of other stars in that part of the galaxy.